Welcome into a new episode of the YHH Junior Hockey Pod. That was a wild intro on video if anyone's watching this, but it's been a while since we recorded, so we have a lot to talk about today. As usual, my name is Sydney Wolf, joined by Peter Odney and Drew Steele. Lots going on here in the ranks of junior hockey, specifically in the USHL, but also in other leagues as well. Probably won't get too much into every single league playoff because that would probably take like multiple days to go through if we went through every single junior league, but we'll definitely do as much as we can. But Peter, how are you doing? I know you just got back from vacation, so did you have a nice fun slash sort of non-hockey relaxing time?
Yeah, I was in a foreign country. I don't want to scare people, but I'm a world traveler.
Wow.
Mexico.
Dude, that's basically a different continent.
2 days before I left, I learned that my passport expires in 4 months. So I freaked out because I thought Mexico had the 6-month rule, but Mexico does not. So I was all good. Went down there for my brother-in-law's bachelor party. I am very burnt. I am very itchy. I never want to see the sun again. So the weather in St. Paul has been fantastic. I could live with 50 and cloudy all summer. I just want to throw that out there. 50
Preach.
And cloudy all summer.
Preach. You can wear a hoodie if you want to.
I can wear pants.
Yeah. I mean, today was like what?
I hope you'd wear pants.
I'm a fan of that. Where you might need a jacket, but it's sunny out. It's decent. It's not
hoodie
hot.
weather's the best weather.
Not cold. Maybe not. It got a little windy the end of the day. That wasn't for me, but
that's okay. It can be windy.
But a lot going on recently. Drew, we'll talk more about this in a little bit, but I mean, you've probably been just super busy because obviously Madison proved me and Peter's predictions wrong and is now just absolutely electric. So you must be pretty busy with obviously all things playoffs right now.
Yeah. It's been a little bit of a run here for the squad. Hopefully we can keep it going. Conference finals. It'd be nice if we could score some goals and not rely on our goalie being a superhero. But yeah, it's been fun, and hit the road again tomorrow. Muskegon, Michigan, here we come, leaving tomorrow morning.
We had to record today. It was like today, otherwise it's going to take a whole nother week. I feel like all the YHH pods have been like that because with our college pod too, between me, Tony, and Jess, it was like, okay, well, I don't think we're going to be able to record for like a whole month. So
I don't know what you're talking about. The women's hockey pod has been a model of consistency.
Yes, all the pods, just sometimes.
Has it not been?
No, we haven't recorded. We've recorded once in the last 2 months, I think.
Well,
all right.
Got stuff to do, man. And then there's just a random like Brett Larson interview that comes out.
That probably does numbers.
Yeah,
it did okay.
It was pretty good. I listened to it. It was pretty good, pretty interesting. So we got plenty to talk about today. Since we haven't recorded in a while, we're probably obviously not going to go through every single game that happened since we recorded because there's been a lot. And we were trying to figure out who we all picked in our picks last episode. And I don't think Peter and I did very good. Obviously, neither of us picked Madison and maybe 50-50 at best, but like probably not very good. But basically, to give you a quick kind of recap of the last few weeks since we've recorded, we're now down to the top 4 teams in the USHL, you guys. So it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. There's been some really good games, some overtime games, some crazy moments, some big goals. But basically now the top 4 teams, we know them. Madison will be playing Muskegon, and Fargo will be playing Sioux Falls. So clearly some of our predictions were true, and some of our predictions did terribly and burned and were bad. So kind of just absolutely insane past few weeks here. Drew kind of touched on it a little bit, but Madison obviously, had some great games, some great series, beating Youngstown, beating Green Bay. Peter and I obviously wrong. We thought Green Bay was going to win that first round series there, and we definitely were not right on that, but it seems like the Caps are just kind of getting really hot. And Drew, you called this a few weeks ago. You're like, Caleb Heil, been playing really well. I think he's going to play really well, and that's going to win us some games. And it seems like that's exactly what happened. So, I mean, you kind of just called that.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb was gone from the end of November till about mid-January. And I think if Caleb's there with the Caps during that time, the Caps probably aren't the 6th seed and looked at as, the Caps aren't going to do well. Oh, I think my wife just got home, so my dog's going to be freaking out in the background. But yeah, so the Caps kind of rolling right now. Pearl, calm down. All right, this is great clips
Pearl.
here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
You're good. We can
Okay.
so you're good.
No, Caleb's in a spot right now where he's kind of carrying the team. I think that is taken lightly, right? We played 6 postseason games to this point. The Caps are 5-1. Can anyone guess at the amount of goals the Caps have scored in 6 playoff games?
Oh man, just
Like,
total.
Total.
11.
Yeah, not too many.
It's 11.
11.
Haven't
Look
scored
at
more
me.
than 2 goals in a game in the playoffs. We've won 4 games 2-1 and won 1 game 1-0. The game we lost 4-2. So Caleb's kind of carrying the ship right now. I think if you ask me at the beginning of the season, though, how this team would win games, I would tell you that the defense and that Caleb Heil would be the reasons why, and that's kind of why we're here right now. It's weird because I think if you look on paper, the past couple of Caps teams, 2 years ago with Brnovic leading the way, that team more offensive, I would have said, had a better chance going into the playoffs. Last year with Riker Lee, Aiden Long, I think with 3 guys with over a point per game last season, I would have said that team had a better chance of going further than this team does. But in playoffs, it's a hot goalie. And I guess we'll see if Caleb can keep it rolling here against Muskegon. But yeah, actually, free hockey for Caps fans. Contact me in my Twitter, and I can get you a link to some discounted tickets. Why not?
Love it.
Good plug. Good plug. Can I add just a little bit of statistical context there?
Oh yeah.
Caleb Heil's numbers through 6 games: 5-1 with a 1.11 goals against and a .966 save percentage. All 3 of those numbers, the 5 wins, the goals against, and the save percentage, tops among all playoff goaltenders.
Love it.
Dog.
Love to see it. Couple other stats here as well. Looking at the playoff point leaders as well. Some Minnesotans killing it for Madison. Nolan Gertis and Tyden Bergson, both 6 points in 6 games. So love to see that.
That pesky Tyden Bergson.
Yeah. Isn't he, Mr. Hockey maybe?
Pretty good.
He's pretty good, I think. But yeah, a lot of Minnesotans killing it. And obviously you guys are going to be playing Muskegon, reigning champs. So obviously that's not necessarily ever a tough task. They got guys like Jack Christ, who were big last year in the playoffs. I know he's had some big moments as well again. Drew, what do you know about Muskegon? Do you have kind of like a pre-scout at all for going into this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, they, similar to us, rely on their goaltending a lot. Carl Axelson's kind of been their guy a lot of the year. I think, to be honest with you, if you told me in December that this Muskegon team would be in this spot when Tynan Lawrence was leaving the program to go to college, like, yeah, you're bringing back Carter Amico, but really, like, looking on paper, like, a lot of their guys from last year left. Like, this is a majority new group now. I think they have a bunch of unsung heroes like the Jack Christ you mentioned that weren't in huge roles last year. Obviously, Chris scored the game-winning goal in the championship, but Chris, the Drew Stewarts of the world, like those are the 2 names to me. Like you told me at the beginning of last season that those 2 would be leading the way. I would have been like, interesting. They took big steps in the development, and I think it just stands for what Muskegon has done over the past couple of seasons. I read a stat today. This is the 7th time since 2019 that Muskegon's been in the conference championship. So if that doesn't kind of show what that program's doing, props to them. First time that the Caps have been – it's the second time they've been to it. First time since 2022. 2022, they faced Muskegon too. So rematch there. But no, I think they're built in a way where I think their style is very similar to ours. I wouldn't think that there's going to be a ton of high-scoring games. I know Muskegon won 6-1 against Dubuque on Tuesday. I think 2 of those were empty netters, though, right? So you're talking about 4-1 games being the quote-unquote blowout. I think in this series would be the case, too. Muskegon's got good guys, though, so it'll be tough for both teams. I think that, like I said, though, I think it's going to be a defensive, kind of low-scoring series between the two, though.
For sure. And obviously, we're going to be paying attention to that. And hopefully, we'll record next week to kind of talk about some of the things that happen here. But so Madison is playing Muskegon. And then kind of on the other side of the bracket, Fargo will be playing Sioux Falls. Just kind of, what happened with those teams. Sioux Falls beat Lincoln, who had, the top 3 playoff scorers. I think they were my pick last show. So obviously, that didn't pan out too well for me. But then Fargo beat Sioux City. And I know notably to Fargo, I heard Axel Lofgren, who was a defender who just flipped his commit to Minnesota, got injured recently over the last few weeks. So he's been out. I don't know exactly how serious it is, but I know he's missed a chunk of games. But Fargo playing Sioux Falls. I mean, Fargo last few years, kind of a wagon, and Sioux Falls has been really hot. So going to be interesting. And very soon we're going to know who's going to the final, which is going to be super, super fun.
My dog, Gavin Eulenkamp, Chanhassen native, 5 goals in the conference semifinal against Sioux City. I just wanted to point that out, obviously. I have the connection through Madison, but kind of a crazy total. And really, he got traded from Madison midseason. Aero Butella came back. Butella had 2 goals in the conference semi. So it's not like Caps are like, oh, damn, would really love to have Gavin Eulenkamp, like their end of the trade's holding up. But Eulenkamp double OT game winner to send their team to the conference championship. And it'll be interesting because I always wonder too. I think Sioux Falls and Muskegon, they both played Tuesday night for game 5s. Does that extra 3 days do anything? Who knows, right? I guess we'll find out if one team comes out slow tomorrow, because both Fargo and Madison are on the road. So does it kind of equal out bus legs? Who knows? But I just wanted to shout out Yuli. Big fan.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Some of the Minnesotans who, some guys may have put off as kind of the more underrated, undersized kind of prospects like Eulenkamp or Drew Stewart have been kind of killing it recently. So love to see that. So I don't know if any of you had any bold predictions. I don't know if I should even make any more predictions at this point for pick'ems because mine were probably so bad last time. But I kind of just hope these are good games in general and we get an exciting semifinals here and then an exciting final.
I think we have to pick. I think you have to pick. Why not?
Well, I mean, clearly picking against Madison burned me last time, so I think I got to pick the Caps, Drew.
Okay.
I think we're looking like a wagon right now a little bit.
All right. I like that. I mean, I'm going Madison too. So
I think I have to at this point.
I think I actually have to. Like, I think you like want to have to. I have to.
I'm gonna go Muskegon then, just to
be the opposite again.
Just to throw a little black pepper on the omelet. I will also say, if we're giving shout outs here, Colton Sinclair, the head coach of the Muskegon Lumberjacks, going from whatever that situation was in Omaha, joining the Lumberjacks midway through the 24-25 season. And now look at him. He's the head coach of a Final Four Clark Cup team. Could Muskegon become the hot new launch pad for head coaches? Parker Burgess went from being the head coach in Muskegon to the head coach in the WHL. He seems to be on a nice trajectory.
He just got fired, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
When?
I think after the season, if I'm not. I don't know if. Let me look just to make sure, but I'm 95% sure I saw that.
We have some great moments here on our show.
That kind of bums me out a little bit.
Yeah, Parker Burgess will not return next season.
Oh shit! Whoops.
But he won a championship, and now they have a chance for another championship-winning coach.
Yeah,
That's too bad. I like Parker. Parker found a few minutes for me when I was at the Fall Classic once. Between a very busy schedule, he found some time for me. So sorry to bring up that painful.
I like
memory.
Parker too. I have no problem with Parker, but when I heard that, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, the first thing that pops up when I Googled Parker Burgess was first his elite prospects, and then the third article down is named head coach of the Vancouver Giants. I was like, oh, okay, that's got to be the most recent article about Parker Burgess. Apparently, it's not. In any case, good for Colton St. Clair to be in the spot that he's at right now. If I'm picking with my heart, I want Madison and Fargo because those are drivable, and I've got a photographer, Ben Liss, who's been barking up my tree trying to find a way to go to some of these Clark Cup games, and I have to very gently tell him, no, we're not going to Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm so sorry.
Or Muskegon.
Or Muskegon, Michigan.
Sioux Falls is drivable too, no?
Sioux Falls is drivable, but I would prefer Fargo just because.
Are you going?
Maybe. So if it's Fargo and Madison, I might send him to one and then I would go to the other. But we have to weigh how much we want to spend on hotels and meals.
What's the drive difference for you guys, Peter, between Sioux Falls and Fargo? Wouldn't it be kind of close?
I've never been to Sioux Falls. How far is it?
It's driving down 23 instead of 94 after St. Cloud, basically. Well, actually, no. From the cities, you probably drive south to 90.
3 hours 43 minutes from the Metro.
Okay, so all three of those locations are between like 3.5 and 4 hours.
Obviously, I know I'm closer to Fargo, but you guys are further south.
I'm closer to Madison out of those.
Yeah,
three.
I think Drew's close to Madison. None of us want to go to Muskegon, obviously. It was the same way when we were at the rink live, where it was like, we'll go to most places if they're reasonable, but if it's in Muskegon, we're not going there.
We're not going to Muskegon.
City and Madison, it was like, okay, that's doable. Sioux City is a little bit, but still not that crazy. So we were like, okay, we'll do it. But
well, why don't you give me Muskegon and Fargo in the final then?
Okay, well, I think I'll go Madison, Sioux Falls. Drew, obviously, we know you're going Madison, but do you have any predictions for who Madison would face then if you get to the next round?
I'll go Fargo. Why not?
Okay.
That way we all have different matchups.
Okay.
We all get different matchups. I can go with the Gavin Eulenkamp route. Big fan of him.
Did somebody write that down?
I mean, I didn't, but
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't either.
Hey, I mean,
I'll write it on here.
I listen back on this episode. I did not listen back on the last episode.
Peter,
transfer
Muskegon, Fargo.
Yep. I have mine written down.
Mad Sioux Falls. Drew, Mad Fargo. All
right. And picking a champion, obviously, we know Drew has to go Madison.
Yeah, we don't even have to predict champions yet. We're probably going to do an episode between now and then, aren't we?
Are you sure?
Okay.
We're
not doing March Madness style. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, if we were going to do March Madness style, we should have did that before the first game was played.
That's true, because clearly we'll hopefully record next week too, or whenever the series is over.
Yeah, we might want to wait not next week, but the week after that.
Yeah,
I think this series will go until the 11th
and the draft as well. And we
don't remind me about the draft,
dude. You're telling me, Peter. Come on, dude.
You're telling us, Peter.
Peter, you're telling a guy who's got to do 2 games in Muskegon, Michigan, get back on Sunday morning, do the entire draft as a team from a team standpoint on Monday, Tuesday, then play another 2 games on Friday, Saturday.
Drew,
it's tough. It's a tough life.
On social media, can you go and for the 5th pick of the 2026 draft?
You want me to stand there at?
Yeah.
I can probably make that happen.
That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, you should make it. Yeah, you should make videos with the sound effect.
I like that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
I'll do it for 1. I'm not going to do it for.
You're not going to do it for phase 2?
Because I feel like, especially because phase 1, you have 15 picks automatically. You have to.
You want to do it for round 7 of phase 2?
No, and some teams get to the point where they're drafting in like round 21 of phase 2 sometimes.
Yeah.
And like at that point, I'm like, no. At that point, I'll be at home already. Luckily, I don't think we're gonna have that many phase 2 picks.
Yeah.
But oh god, yeah, no, don't count me in for 25 of those videos. I'll do one.
Yeah.
I'll do one. I don't know if it'll be like the official one because I feel like the kid might get rattled if that's like his draft moment, and then it's just me. But maybe I'll follow up with one on my own personal.
You don't
Then
want
I
to
might
call
be.
him yourself and be like, "Hey, this is Drew Steele."
No,
I'm
we.
telling you, he
I
got
mean,
drafted.
our coaches call right after, but our coaches also aren't
Like they're
fans of being
expecting the
mic'd
coach to
up.
call, but actually it's Drew Steele.
Yeah, so like you guys hear that, you see that, go to our social media quick. Look at that video of the goal call. That guy, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be like, "You thought I was the coach? No, this is Drew."
No, so you see that graphic that was just out there? Yeah, I made that.
Yeah. They'd be like, "Okay, sweet dog."
They'd be like, cool, dude, thanks.
Cool.
Appreciate the shout out.
But yeah, hopefully we'll record the next episode then and we can talk about any notable draft things and the final, preview that the next episode, whenever that may
There's gonna
be.
be so many interesting tidbits from the draft. You have no idea, Sydney.
I have no idea. I have
You have
some idea.
no idea.
I have a little bit of an idea. But we'll kind of see because I don't know. Every year the draft is wild. But speaking of
Wild.
shout out to one of our sponsors, the USHL. Obviously, we've been talking about the USHL already for 20 minutes, and we got even more time talking about the USHL coming up. We love the USHL and the development that it provides its players, and obviously the hockey that's been being played over the last few weeks here has been super entertaining. So many big goals, so many big moments. We love the USHL, and we're super excited for the draft next week and the finals because obviously super fun, love it. Playoff hockey is so cool, so fun. So excited to watch all that's coming up here, and obviously shout out the USHL. Thanks for sponsoring this show. And if you're not paying attention to it, I'm surprised you're listening to the show, but if you're not, go pay attention to the USHL.
If they're not paying attention to the USHL, they're probably here for my looks, if we're being honest.
Probably. A couple more USHL tidbits here. We did have the awards that came out as well. A couple notable things to go along with those. I'll just start out with like random order here, but the All-Rookie Team came out. A couple familiar names on there, but Cooper Soller specifically is the Rookie of the Year. Western Michigan commit, had 49 points for Sioux Falls this year. But one of the guys on that list, James Scantlebury, I just saw recently, has decided that he's going to play in the Q next year. So that's going to be one guy that's switching it up, which is a little bit interesting. But I believe he was a tender this year for Chicago. So played this year, had 39 points, was one of the youngest guys there, but looks like he's going to be switching it up for next year. So that's kind of a notable moment. The all USHL teams have been named. I don't necessarily need to go through all of them, but and you know, some people have beef with who made each teams. You can go through on all the discussion boards and see people say, "Where's this guy? Where's this guy?"
I have beef.
Drew has beef. Yeah, sometimes these awards I will say are a little interesting. But all USHL first team, Alex Pelletier, Cooper Simpson, Zach Wooten, so some Minnesotans, Jack Wilson, who eventually was the defenseman of the year, Hawk Huff, and Tobias Treball, who won goalie of the year. Alex Pelletier then was the player of the year, and he had 85 points this year, and I think it was like a crazy amount more than the next closest player on Lincoln. So he was just killing it this year. So that's some of the awards. I don't need to go through all the other names on here, but some other Minnesotans on the third team all USHL include Brent Solomon and Bodie Leyland and Garrett Lindbergh. So a couple other ones. And just some other notables. Teddy Merrill of Dubuque earned the Kurt Hammer Award, which they said is for skill, pride, and determination. Second in scoring on Dubuque and wore a C for the team. You can go read more about it online. And Student Athlete of the Year, I always love to shout these out. I think it's so interesting. Ryan Poirier, Poirier, however you want to say it.
Poirier or something like that. However, it's like Pois is what
Ryan
Poirier. I don't know.
Student
Whatever.
athlete of the year
yogurt.
for Sioux City. They said he had a 4.25 GPA. So shout out academic weapon. And cool to see that. Otherwise, somebody highlighted this on our Google Doc, but any other beef or highlights, notables that you guys had from award season here?
Yeah, my beef I can say is Caleb Heil not being named to any of the all USHL teams. Like, no offense to Michael Pradell.
Yeah.
Look at the stats. Caleb has better stats than him. More wins. Like, I think wins is a pretty big indicator. The other goalie I think that should be in the race for these that isn't is Leonard Feldbergs, the Sioux Falls goalie. 35 wins this year.
Yeah, didn't he break like the single season wins record or something like that?
Yeah. Like, I hate to tell you, if you're putting up 35 wins, you're doing something right in net. Like, sure, you might be getting goal support and your stats might not be the best compared to the other guys, but 35 wins is pretty impressive to me. So that's one. But yeah, I would say Caleb probably belongs above him too. Some people in the discussion groups are saying that Trey Ball should have to turn his goalie of the year over to Caleb Heil. That was something I saw. Just a suggestion, but I also think the Mark Carlson getting shouted out. I think that's a big one. He's just been a rock in the league forever. I think we talked about it early on this season with him being the all-time wins leader. Tony Gasparini doing a good job in Sioux Falls too, keeping the ship in the right direction. I just want to make sure we shouted them out because, a lot of teams in our league do a lot of different styles and everything, but I think those two guys do it pretty right, if I'm going to say so myself. And I think they have their ships going in the right direction. And, just wanted to shout both of them out. And, go Cavs.
I know I saw some people that also had beef that Lane Loomer wasn't on the list for Lincoln. I don't know a crazy amount, but obviously he had 30 goals, 42 assists. So I'm sure there's a lot of guys that are in the top 10 that it could be like, okay, well, they definitely, made a case for themselves. But there's a couple other guys too where it's like, well, they probably could have been on there, but clearly we're not voters for this. Otherwise we would have put in our own input.
Shout out Lane Loomer leading the playoffs in points though, 12 points.
Yeah. So that might be, good enough. You don't need an award if, you lead the playoffs in points. That's pretty sweet. But some other notables here, USHL extends.
What about my beef?
What beef? Well, do you have beef, Peter?
No, I think we're glossing over James Scantlebury being named to the All-Rookie Team and then immediately leaving.
Well, yeah. But I don't know.
I mean, he's originally from Montreal, so I guess it.
Though, so I'm not that surprised if he just wants to go play closer to home.
If he just wants to speak French more than he speaks it, I don't actually know. I would assume that he speaks French, but I think that's kind of nuts. That
maybe the Ramparts
thing I saw.
If you come back and play home here at home, you can just be a top guy for us right away. I don't know. Maybe it's in Chicago, you can be one of the top guys, but we got a lot of other good guys, and maybe they were you can play close to home and you'll be the guy here. I don't know.
Well, it's not like he lacked playing time in Chicago, though. He had 40 points in 62 games. He had some time on the power play. I think I would be curious to know what the thought process is behind that.
You ready for something that I've heard a rumor, but I don't know if it's fact, and it might just be an internet rumor. I heard Carter Meyer might also be heading to Quebec to play on that same team.
I did also see that online as well.
Which, if that happens, I can understand a little bit, if they're just assembling the Avengers in Quebec. They play at an NHL rink, that place. Originally the city built that building in hopes to try to get an NHL team back to the city. So, I get it, especially because he's from Quebec, going home in a way. And, obviously it's a tough loss for the league. And you hope those type of kids stay for the most part. But I think in the world we live in now, there's going to be so much movement between leagues that you're never going to be able to keep 100% of the rookie team. You're never going to be able to keep 100% of everything. And I think it's the same in the other leagues too. I think there's going to be movement between leagues. I think across the board, I can't wait to see some trades go down. Like, I don't know if it's even possible, if I'm being honest, but like a trade between like Quebec and Chicago, maybe Quebec sends back a player. Like, I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's reasonable for it to happen, but yeah, it's an interesting thing for sure, Peter. But yeah, I've heard that other rumor. So maybe that would play in part of it as well.
Yeah, and I mean too, maybe like looking at just like the standings and stuff with Chicago, if he wasn't sure, how things would pan out next year too. I mean, I don't know a ton about the Q, but I mean the Ramparts finished kind of like in the middle of the standings of the Eastern Conference, so I assume that they'd be probably minimum middle of the pack next year. So I don't know, but obviously if it's like okay, you got to play junior hockey next year somewhere and maybe he didn't have like the ideal experience that he wanted this year and he's like I could just go play closer to home, why not just do that? Like I can totally see that. So
Maybe he didn't like the Chicago Steel's new logo, and he was like,
yeah,
you know what, I'm only playing for, if it doesn't say Chicago Steel in the logo,
yeah.
I'm leaving, and
I'm
they called his
out.
bluff.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't a fan, I don't know. But yeah, that's obviously notable. But I already said that, but Glenn Heffern got extended as USHL commissioner, so congrats to him. Couple tenders here. There's also phase 2 signings and tenders. I'm not going to announce all of those because there's been a lot, so just kind of the notable ones. But regular tenders, Austin Hall of Honeybake tendered with Youngstown, a guy who led his Honeybakes team in scoring. He's a forward, so that's a big one there. And Drew, did you want to talk about one of the Caps ones here coming up?
Yeah, tendering Aiden Ali is his name. Defenseman out of Little Caesars. He's built like a truck right now at 16, so I think that's a big reason why our staff thinks he can make the step next year. So yeah, shout out Aiden Ali. That'll be announced on Thursday at 11 a.m. So I feel pretty confident that we can share it in this. If the pod goes out at 9 and you listen to it, shout out. Make sure to give the post a like at 11.
Oh yeah. And then just some phase 2 signings slash tenders, however you want to describe them. I'm not going to mention all the guys because obviously there's been a chunk of them recently, but a lot of Minnesotans, it seems like a lot of teams are using these phase 2 signings on Minnesotans, which is kind of cool. Like, I feel like that's always, typically a strong choice. But got a couple familiar names here for people. Jimmy Dodig, I believe his was with Omaha. Cooper Anderson with Lincoln, Sam Wooten with Des Moines, Waterloo with some familiar faces already to their roster, Sam Peckham, Keegan Davis, and then also a non-Minnesotan I wanted to say as well, Caden Jackman, also with Waterloo. His dad, Barrett, was a longtime Blues player, so yeah, kind of cool. But those are the standard signings. I mean, Drew, do you have a good way to describe kind of the difference between like these? Are they all standard player development agreements, or are some of them signings? Like, can you go?
So the tenders, you get one of them at phase 2, and it's a player you don't currently own their rights. Okay. Waterloo, the 3 players that were listed there, all like they already drafted them and held their rights. They're just signing them to their roster. That's the new like SPDA, standard player development agreement. So that's the difference between the two. I know it's going to be a lot of tenders, signings, whatever. As soon as the draft happens on Monday, Tuesday, it's only going to be standard player development. But up until the draft, it's weird. And I think there's still a chance for more tenders to come through in the next couple of days. I would imagine with the World U18s done, that those NTDP kids that have signed or haven't signed have that option now. Another one that I don't know if we've mentioned it on previous pods, but Fargo signed. Is it AJ Francisco's the defenseman at the program that's from Hermantown, right?
Yeah.
He signed with Fargo, so he's going there as a tender. Really? Another NTDP kid, I think Luke Carruthers, signed with Dubuque, if I'm not mistaken, too. But yeah, I mean, that's the new world we live in, where we're going to have signings, tenders, We're going to have all sorts of different terminology going at you. Keep up or slide into one of our DMs, and we'll try to explain it as best as we can. And if we don't know how to explain it,
DMs asking for me.
Yeah, slide into somebody.
Just ask Drew and Sydney.
Yeah, just ask us. We'll try to explain as best as we can, and yeah.
Gotcha. So that's just a couple of notables there. And then also a big shout out to our other sponsor of the show, APX Hockey. If you go to apx-hockey.com, you can find out all about our exceptional training and development programs for players, or you can find an amazing new advisor if you're thinking maybe you need a change, or if you're looking to get an advisor for the first time. We have a lot of awesome guys on our staff that really are actually putting in the work that advisors should be doing. I know sometimes people have advisors that I don't really know what they're doing, but we have amazing guys that work on our staff. And I actually just posted our players of the month for April, since our training program is now back up and running. It's one of my favorite things I do every month, getting to shout out some of the people in our program, which is super cool. And if you're looking for any news, notables, databases on the transfer portal, I got that for you, apx-hockey.com. You can click on the news or the databases tab, and I got you. But we have a bunch of other commitments, decommitments, flipped commitments to talk about. I'll run through a couple of them, and then obviously I know we'll probably have comments on some of them. The last time that we recorded, we had kind of mentioned a little bit of the fallout so far from the whole St. Cloud State, Minnesota coaching change stuff, because obviously Nick Oliver's brought in at St. Cloud, Brett Larson brought in for the Gophers. So obviously recruits get all mixed up for everybody then at that point. So we already knew Hawkhuff decommitted. He recommitted then to St. Thomas. Matthew Grimes, who was a Minnesota commit, flips to BC. And then just a couple other notables, fallouts from the coaching changes. Cade Stengram, who's from Brainerd, he's playing, I believe, in the dub, decommits from St. Cloud. And St. Cloud gains a new recruit in Carson Pilgrim, who'd been decommitted from North Dakota for a couple months. So obviously some familiar names there for Minnesotans with Huff and Pilgrim. So, and I think on one of our prior This Week in College Hockey episodes, I think Pilgrim was looking at like CC, Michigan State, and St. Cloud, I think, were some of the top schools. So,
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think St. Cloud was in on him before the coaching change even happened.
Yeah, I think my old coworker, Mick Hatton, he wrote a story on it, and I was reading through it a little bit, and it sounds like, you know, he'd been recruited by the old staff, and then I'm sure the new staff was kind of like, hey, obviously we're still interested in you. And then I think he was like, okay, cool. Then yeah, I'll come there.
I mean, that out of those three teams, that one made the most sense. Like if it wasn't going to be North Dakota, Michigan State didn't seem like
that'd be tough to get playing time at Michigan State right now. They got such a good roster.
Yeah, it'd be tough to get playing time at Michigan State. He's just not. Carson's a really good player, obviously, but he doesn't fit the mold of Michigan State's recruits.
And CC, I thought that was just going to be kind of an odd one too.
Yeah, I also think Carson, like the role he would have to play there is so much different than the role he's going to get to play at a St. Cloud or a CC. At Michigan State, you're going to be like, to crack the lineup, he'd have to be like a third or fourth line penalty killer. Never see power play time, and I just don't think that's his game.
Yeah, I know a lot of people wanted to see him wind up in Duluth, but I don't even know if they were part of the conversation or not. But it'll be kind of fun then when St. Cloud plays UMD. A lot of familiar faces out on the ice will be fun for sure. With those Warroad, Hermantown, all those types of guys up there. But then a couple other ones here. Flips, we had mentioned guys that had decommitted that have now recommitted. Former Providence commits, Colin Sisson, now with the UMass Lowell logo next to his name, and Marco Sinersha to Brown. Kind of a bigger one here, Connor Davis decommitted from Northeastern. I think we mentioned that last show as well, commits to North Dakota. That was kind of a big one because obviously he had been one of the top guys in Cedar Rapids, so that was a big one. Obviously, we always mention that it seems like North Dakota always has a lot of the top guys in the USHL, so they add another one. Couple just other ones here, non-Minnesotans. I'll just run through these real quick. Evan Sofakaitis of Tri-City commits to Robert Morris. Jack Fitchthorn, I think is how you say it, Fickthorn. Goalie from Sioux City commits to Sacred Heart. He was kind of their main guy this year. Brody Berard, one of the younger D in the league for Youngstown, commits to Northeastern. And one more flip here, Andrew O'Sullivan, who's formerly a Colgate commit, playing for Green Bay, flips to Dartmouth, had 46 points as a D this year. So obviously that's pretty promising. Couple random other league commitments here. Talon Blanc or Blank, I forgot how you say it. He was, I believe, Alaska Fairbanks. I remember I interviewed him like years ago when he committed to UAF. And now he's going to Wisconsin. He's an 05 birth year, so he's an age out, but he was in the wilderness of the Knoll this year and was one of the top guys there, but played in the USHL last year a little bit. So kind of cool to see he'll be playing for probably the school that he grew up cheering for, I assume, since he's from Wisconsin.
Yeah,
watch him be a Gopher fan.
Yeah,
how weird. I think he's I think he played AAA. His brother plays AAA in Madison. Either way, how often do you see a Big Ten school recruiting age outs in the Knoll?
It's Mike Hastings. So
yeah,
Mike Hastings formula. Gotta have a couple of those guys on the roster. Which is wild. I love it. But yeah, he's a Fond du Lac guy, I believe. So going to be playing for Wisconsin next year. Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody was making those jokes. Like, of course, Mike Hastings got to be recruiting those 21-year-old freshmen type thing. But hey, it got them to a national championship game this year. So, got to do what works. A couple other just Knoll notes. Watertown goalie JJ Salaico, I think is how you say it. Salaico committed to Michigan State. I assume he's probably going to be, kind of more of a backup third string guy there, but cool to see a Knoll guy getting a D1 commit, because obviously that's kind of getting, a little bit more rare here as the major junior guys come into college hockey. And then a local Minnesotan here announcing their college commitment. Eli, is it Mold or Moldy? Do you know, Peter? Because I don't. From Wyzetta, do you know if it's Mold or Moldy? I don't even know.
I think it's Mold. If it's a 50-50 guess, give me Mold. Mold is inevitable.
Mold.
Finally.
But he's
in my basement.
He played for Wyzetta this year, wore the C, and he joined Okotoks at the end of the year in the BCHL, committed to the Air Force Academy. So shout out, love to see it. Super cool, and he had 35 points for the Trojans this year, and I assume he'll probably be for the BC next year. Are we all flipping our hats around now?
Did you see that?
For the second half of the show?
No. No, once he said he committed to the Air Force Academy, friggin' Drew.
Oh, saluted. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Serving the country.
Drew, you're the best. I love you.
I didn't even see that because my Google Doc page is over
you too.
2/3 of Drew's face.
Sheesh.
Sorry. I have to read the notes. A couple other major junior notes here. Obviously, we don't get too into that, but is anyone tired of Denver being really good? Because I am in college hockey. They picked up two other huge recruits lately in Blake Fiddler and Ryan Lynn. The Pios just keep on, keeping doing their thing. David Carl just is the GOAT at this point. Blake Fiddler's a 6'5" right-handed defenseman playing for Edmonton. He's a second-round draft pick of Seattle. He turns like 19 this summer, but he's already played like 3 years of junior hockey, so clearly he's had a ton of experience and just good player. And Ryan Lynn is also a defender and is likely going to be a high draft pick this summer. So it's almost annoying how many players Denver gets. It's like, yep. Are we going to be surprised if Denver wins again next year? No, not really.
Have you guys on the College Hockey Show had that talk about where David Carl ranks among the greatest college coaches of all time?
I don't think we've ranked them, but we've said so many stats of like at this point he's already so high up in them because he's won already so many titles. And he's not looking to leave anytime soon. So at this point, he's going to be literally the GOAT in no time.
Yeah. I honestly wonder
if he wanted to.
You should almost rank like legacy ranking of all of college hockey coaches that are active right now. Because like
Yeah,
I wonder where he compares to like Scott Sandelin, right? Like Sandelin's got 3
yeah,
too,
that's
right?
true. Yeah.
Like I would just be interested to see on that end to see
I think
what
it said
everyone's thoughts
something
are.
like, I think the stat we read, I don't remember if it was from Schlossman or College Hockey News, but they said I think he's only the second coach to win 3 titles in 5 years. I think the
Not
other
bad.
one was Jack Parker, I think, and they said Herb Brooks, I think, won, was it 3 and I don't remember. A couple stats. I'm getting it all mixed up, but I think he was only the second one, so clearly, he's up there. Yeah. So that's obviously a discussion maybe we should have on the Twitch show in the summer. But yeah, just clearly Denver is just being Denver now and reloading on some of the top players. But a few other notables from Major Junior. Nathan Free, former Penn State commit, flips to Union, one of the top guys for Portland of the dub. More local prospects, some people on our listeners to our show might know. Former North Dakota commit Andrew O'Neill flips to St. Thomas. Forward from Fargo originally, prospect for the draft. Former NTDP guy had 43 points in the dub this year. And speaking of other fallout from the coaching changes that happened, Levi Harper, who's one of the top like D prospects right now, it looks like has decommitted from Minnesota. And he's got like 57 points in 68 games as a D. So obviously he's a super good prospect. So just those are some Major Junior notes. Kind of flipping things over just quickly to the NAL. We won't spend a ton of time talking about this, but I just thought I'd mention that their divisional finals are set in the NAL for the Robertson Cup playoffs. So far, nothing too crazy has happened. All the 1 seeds did advance, so no crazy upsets. In the East, Maryland, the 1 seed, will play Rochester, the number 2. Rochester did have to beat Northeast in the best of 5, 3 games to 2 games, so it was pretty close. In the Central, Austin, the 1 seed, will be playing Aberdeen, the 3 seed. Aberdeen played a close series against Bismarck. In the South, Lone Star, the 1, will play El Paso, the 3. And in the Midwest, the Minnesota Wilderness, the 1 seed, will play the Wisconsin Wendigo, the 3 seed, who played a close series to Fairbanks. So we'll see. The Dirty South of the NAL has been kind of the reigning champs the last few years. They've been really good lately. So we'll see if, Lone Star, the 1 seed down there, will keep it going. Keep going.
Shout out El Paso.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they turned it around when I was down.
Yeah, I know they
in
were
El
kind of rough
Paso,
for a while.
dog water.
Yeah, I know they had a few rough
They
years.
play at a barn of all barns. It's like a converted fair pole building.
I was gonna say, isn't that
like-
one of those buildings they'd have like rodeos in and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's
Like
sweet.
in Craft Hockeyville went there the year that we were there, and like they can do all the renovations, but they're not hiring like new rink techs. The ice, the kick plate, you could see this much kick plate in some spots, and you could see like this much kick plate in others. So maybe
gosh.
when Craft Hockeyville is a thing, or if it still is a thing, maybe they should just invest in hiring like a actual rink tech to know what's
Yeah.
going on. But yeah, that's a barn. Shout out the Rhinos too. That's a sick name. Black and orange. They have sick colors too.
You do.
Get Peterson pumped right now. It looks like he's battling some heartburn at the moment. Fresh off the bachelor party.
Hiccups.
Kind of crazy. I feel like the Wilderness has had a couple good years in the past when I've been, paying attention to the NAL. Austin's been a wagon, the couple of times I've been down to the Robertson Cup. And I know Maryland too has had a couple really good years. There's just a couple NAL teams where I'm like, wow, that team, if they're not in the Robertson Cup finals, they're always pretty close. So a couple teams there, but obviously they're going to have to get through the divisional finals. You never know when a 3 or a 2 seed is going to make it. But it's kind of funny. Rochester's the only 2 seed who made it to the final. The other 3 teams are 3 seeds. So kind of interesting.
We will be boots on the ground at the Robertson Cup, as we are every year.
Yeah, love it. I love running the Robertson Cup.
The Robertson Cup is the world's not the world's greatest, but
I love going, depending on what
show
are there. Like if Austin's there, they bring so many fans and they're so loud.
Yeah, and I say Gong Show lovingly because there are some total null nuts that will travel across the country to watch the junior team.
I was on somebody's radio broadcast once when I was at the Robertson Cup. I don't remember if it was somebody from Austin or who it was, but I remember jumping on the radio randomly once and being like, "Hey, everybody!"
This is Sydney Wolf. Hi.
Yeah, it was sweet. I love Austin too because they always have Hormel as a sponsor, so their warm-up jerseys are always cool, like bacon or Spam or something. My husband has family ties to the Spam factory, so we always like to shout out Austin.
Is he the heir to the Spam fortune?
No, we're not heirs to that, but my father-in-law did work at the Spam factory when he was young for a little bit. His family's from Austin. So,
character building.
Yeah. My husband's aunt still lives in Austin. So shout out Austin, Minnesota. Love the Austin piece. Love Spam. We have a lot of Spam in our cupboard at my house.
Never had Spam.
You know, it looks a little wild, but if you cut it and you fry it in a pan, it's really good. Don't eat it out of the can. It looks like gelatinous ham. You got to fry it, and then it's really good.
Didn't know.
It's very good.
Taking notes for new TikToks in the house.
There's also many flavors. So if you want to like try a wild flavor of Spam, you can do that.
What do you mean?
Maple flavor.
Yeah, there's like maple. There's a smoked flavor. We recently got Japanese barbecue.
Okay, that's too much.
Flavors. Are we getting on?
That's too much.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's been a lot. There's Spam Light. I don't recommend that though. It's not as good. Gotta say, but
jalapeno.
There's a lot of good Spam flavors, so I will say we make that at
less sodium flavor.
Yeah, I would recommend those. You want full soda; it's much better. Full soda.
Why would you get less sodium Spam? Like if you're gonna eat Spam, then
also because like literally slice it thin, fry it, and then like even in a breakfast sandwich too, like it's good. Yeah, like breakfast sandwich. We make a lot of Spam in my house. So.
Yeah, bro.
What are you having for dinner? Garlic Spam.
Garlic Spam, obviously.
Sounds good to me.
What are we always having for dinner?
Yeah, sounds sweet to me.
What are you having, Spam or Spam?
Nah, Spam for breakfast. But yeah, I mean, I guess we were talking about the null before we were talking about Spam, but shout out Austin. Other notables here, we might as well talk about the U18s men's tournament.
What a disaster.
What a disaster. USA and Canada. Neither of them are in the semifinals. The USA specifically, some details on that tournament. They're out. Like you said, Peter, kind of just a disaster. Kind of what happened is first game, they lost in overtime to Czechia. Okay, whatever. Regroup. They beat Denmark. They beat Sweden. They beat Germany. And then in the quarterfinals, they lose to Latvia 5-2. Obviously, shout out Latvia. I always think it's cool when those smaller countries get big wins like that. But USA couldn't get past a hot goalie from Latvia. He stopped 43-45, I think, or something like that. Just ridiculous. And I didn't watch this game, so I'm not sure if the shots that Brady Noling faced were just all amazing shots, but stopped 11 of 16, so a little bit rough there just stats-wise. And, USA, some interesting roster decisions with Levi Harper and also leaving JP Hurlburt off the roster. People have been a little critical sometimes of Team USA and how they treat guys who aren't from like the NTDP directly. But Wyatt Cullen, shout out, top scorer from Team USA, 9 points in 5 games. And obviously just a weird tournament for USA and Canada. Not great.
Wyatt Cullen, on that note, has become the darling of the NHL draft.
He really has.
Everybody's loving on Wyatt Cullen right now.
It's kind of funny.
He's a dog.
Because like I remember, because how is he 18 already or turning 18? Or he'd be turning because he's a late birthday, right? Isn't he?
He's like one of the youngest kids in the draft.
Yeah, so 17. So whatever it was, 2-3 years ago at the 15s camp at the Herb, I remember watching him, and he was really great back then too. But he was so small. It was fun watching him out on the ice because he was like one of the smallest guys out there, but he would not play like it. He played, totally different and was just amazing out there. But it's so funny now to see everybody that'll comment and be like, he's 6 foot and still growing. And I'm like, because for a while people are like, oh, how tall is Wyatt Cullen gonna be type thing.
So
when he joined
Scott,
the program, wasn't he like listed as like 5'7", 1?
Scott Wheeler from The Athletic he just wrote a profile on him, and in that article it said he showed up and he was 5'5", 120 pounds.
Yeah, because I remember at one point I was like, wow, that's I think when he made the program or something.
Yeah, now he's like
Sports Academy can't get more muscle on his bones going into it or what?
He needs his spam, dude. He needs full sodium spam.
There's always
this guy's some spam with tocino in it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But obviously you see his parents, and his parents are like small, so it's like I guess everyone's like, just you gotta trust the process, he'll grow, just wait.
Oh, who's his dad again?
I don't know. Some guy.
I haven't heard. Who's his little brother? I don't know.
Who's his dad?
Like I don't really know where they were playing college hockey either. Like no big deal.
Wyatt Cullen plays hockey?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to college where his dad went to college, right?
Yeah. What's his brother's name? Braylon?
Jimmy? Is it Jimmy Cullen? Does that ring a bell for anybody?
Yeah.
Jimmy John Jack.
John. I think there is a John Cullen, actually.
I think so.
Maybe
it sounds familiar. Yeah, I was gonna say at this point there's starting to be a lot of Collins.
Give it 30 years. We'll have another.
Starting to be one of those family trees now where you have to go, okay, whose kid is that? You know, which one is this? You know, there's some
which branch of the family is this?
Say a last name and you're like, okay, but like which one are they?
Because Max Cullen is a cousin of Matt's kids, and there were people at the state tournament this year. Obviously, Max had a great tournament going, oh, yeah, he's Matt's son. No, he's not. There are multiple Cullen adults here that have had children.
Yeah. Because on Moorhead wasn't it Matt's? And then who's the other one? Will? Is there a Will, I think?
There's a Will Cullen. Yeah, and then Will, Max.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was the same this year too with the Hollandens, because there was also like the main family, and there's like 11 kids, but then there was like a cousin on the team, and then it was like okay.
The Delano head coach tried to explain it during one of those press conferences, and he took a deep breath. And he's like, "Oh, okay. Yeah. If we're gonna do the whole thing, I need."
Well, I guess
the
main Daniel Hollandens family, I think there's like 11 kids in that family, so it might just be one of those.
There are a lot.
Where people ask you like, "Are you related to this person?" and they're probably like, "Yeah." Just
say yes. Just say yes.
I'm not explaining it. Yeah. So yeah, at that point, it's like, okay, well, don't need to get into
cheaper by the dozen.
Yeah.
2 cheaper by the dozen. The remake. So good.
Yeah, I just watched
it my time
2 weeks ago. Wild. But yeah, I guess we still have other hockey things I should add in here. Craziness in Prince George. I thought this was just kind of a funny thing. I don't know if you guys saw the Prince George accounts, because they had both the Spruce Kings and the Cougars play home games on like the same night. So the city, if you're just a general hockey fan, I think was kind of split of like, okay, but like which game where
do I go?
Because I think one was a game 7 too, so it was like, okay, are you going to the BCHL game? Are you going to go to the major junior game? Like that they're sitting like 2 successful teams, you know, like.
Well, and you'd think Cougars wouldn't be into Kings; they'd be more into Princes, if we're being honest.
Yeah, but I just saw a lot of funny stuff from that, and just like. Obviously, people had to make a decision, but the city of Prince George has a population of 70,000, so it's not like it's a multi-million population,
sprawling metropolis of Prince George.
Just I thought that was kind of funny. And, kind of just to pivot to a sad note here quickly, but thought I would mention it. But just thoughts go out to the Portland Winterhawks organization. Their director of player personnel, Matt Davidson, passed away recently, and I think he was only like 48. So obviously that's pretty terrible news, and was reading some of the tributes to him and stuff recently today and yesterday. And obviously that's a huge bummer, and somebody gone too soon. We've had a lot of bummer, news bits here this year, so obviously don't like mentioning sad stuff, but thought I'd throw that on here because it sounds like he had a pretty great legacy out in Portland and with a bunch of other hockey people as well. So big bummer, but thought I would mention that on here. And kind of just as one lighter note to kind of, end some things. There was a statement that went out. I guess I did not know about all this beef going on in the CCHL with the Pembroke Lumber Kings. I know we don't talk about the CCHL, but it sounds like the league is looking to seek a buyer to purchase kind of like the team, I guess, that's operating out of Pembroke. There's like a long press release you can look up, but I jokingly put, anyone want to buy the Pembroke Lumber Kings? Never know. I don't know how much.
Let's get a pool together.
How much does a CCHL team cost? I don't know. Can't be that.
How much do you guys have?
Got about 50 cents.
Okay. And you have 50 cents. I have a pack of gum.
I got Pearl's leash.
I think I have some crumpled up $1 bills in my wallet.
Are you saving those for a rainy day?
It's my garage sale money, but I could uncrumple them and like put them in a jar or something.
Wow. Reinvesting.
Gonna be honest, I did not know where Pembroke was. Sorry, Canadians.
It's in Canada.
I know that, but I didn't know where in Canada it was. I just had to look it up.
Where is it?
Just northwest of the Ottawa area.
Oh, prime real estate.
It is on the Ontario-Quebec border on the Ottawa River. So learning some geography today.
I can tell you, it's north.
It was in Ontario, but I don't. Obviously, that's a big place. So
I can tell you where it's at. North of the U.S.
North of the U.S.
Just
north of some of the U.S. True, not all.
Take a right on Main Street.
I can tell you guys their biggest export or their biggest industry.
Of U.S. that are about the same.
What is it?
Much more.
It's lumber.
Wow. Or would you say there's Kings at it?
Yeah. I want to see a tournament played between Muskegon and Pembroke. We can even throw Cloquet in there and Bemidji.
There we go.
Lumber tournament.
Who's got the tallest tree in the forest?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kings. I feel like a lumber king would beat a lumberjack, but I guess I don't know in the rankings how that.
Well, not always. Sometimes the laborers revolt. Have you guys ever heard of the Battle of Blair Mountain?
Well, what I was gonna say is depends on if the ace is high or not. If the kings are worth more than the jack, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. I have no idea. Okay, I have officially lost my marbles.
Why do you look so exhausted, Sydney? Why do you look like you're tired of dealing with Drew and I?
Oh, I'm not. I just don't have anything else to add. I don't know.
I thought I was gonna catch you there.
Miss funny, etc. moments. I don't think. I think we've all been too busy to be just.
I think Drew's been a little busy with this playoff run here.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, I'm already looking, and there's already more tier 2 tenders coming onto my timeline. I'm not even gonna.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my gosh.
Anybody cool?
Just null guys. Nothing too wild.
Null guys are cool.
I agree. Shout out the null.
Financial advisors of the future.
You heard it from Drew first.
Damn.
Okay, but otherwise, thanks for listening to this episode of the YTH Junior Hockey Podcast. We will be back once the next round is over because we'll talk about that and the draft as well. So stay tuned for that, TBD. Thanks to our sponsors, the USHL and APX Hockey. And for myself, for Peter Odney and Drew Steele, thanks so much for listening, and we'll be back here in about a week or two.